No matter our age and no matter how long we've played golf, we all want more club head speed. Today I'm going to share with you how I increased distance for one of my experienced students with just 3 simple tips. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV. And one of the reasons you come here, the US Golf TV, is because we love to keep the game simple. We also have a special place in our heart for our experienced golfers, those of us who've played golf for a long time and maybe we don't move like we used to move. And I got to share a story with you here today. One of my students, Claire, took up the game later in life, but loves to play. And I gave her 3 specific things that helped her increase her club head speed. So I'm going to share those with you here today because I'm pretty confident they're going to add some club head speed to your swing also. So let's dive right into it. So the first thing that I did is we actually talked a little bit about the stance. A lot of golfers, especially experienced golfers, probably because they struggle a little bit with balance, their stance can get really wide. Because as the stance gets wider, of course you feel more stable and connected. I'm the same way. We don't have the same balance that we once had when we were younger. So what I want you to think about is you want a stance that's certainly wide enough, but most importantly, take your toes and just flare them out a little bit, all right? So don't be wide and square with the toes. Be a little bit narrower, but more flare. And when your toes are flared out a little bit, you're gonna still feel connected and comfortable and in balance, but you're gonna be able to pivot. So that was tip number 1. Now, tip number 2, and this is the case for a lot of golfers out there. Matter of fact, if this is the case for you, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and you know right away, I gotta ask you where you're from. We love hearing where you're from. It's one of our favorite things to look at. And of course, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell and do all that fun stuff. But a lot of golfers, as they get older, their swings get shorter because they don't have the flexibility that they used to have. So Claire's particular swing when we first started was really wide, square toes, backswing was kind of short, okay? And just not a lot of rotation. See that right there? That might look like your swing a little bit, but not after this video. So we took the toes, we flared them out, all right, and we got the heels a little bit closer together. The next thing we did is we definitely added more hip turn. You got to get those hips to turn. You got to get some body rotation to get some length to your swing. Your arms can only take the club back so far. But as you start to rotate your hips, okay, you can turn your shoulders. Now you can start getting some length to your backswing. So our golf swing, when Claire and I first started working, only was about right to here. Well, nobody's gonna hit the golf ball very far if that's the length they have to their backswing. So I said, all right, Claire, I want you to get some more rotation, all right, on the backswing and get your arm a little bit higher. And all of a sudden we started getting some length to the swing. Now, one of the drills that we do for that, if you followed any of our stuff here at US Golf TV, one of the ways that we teach hip rotation is a little step back drill. Let's go ahead and review that real quick. So when you're set in there, all right, when you make a backswing, just take your trail foot and just step it back a little bit. See that? There's a little 1, there's a 2, you know where we're going, right, Nick? We're going the 3 setters, right? There he is. Nick's laughing behind the camera because he knows I love my 3 setters. But that little move right there can give us some more hip turn. So, number 1, don't get your stance too wide because it's going to restrict your ability to rotate. A little narrower, but flare the toes. Number 2, we got to get some hip turn. If you get some hip turn, you can turn your shoulders. Now you get some length to your backswing. Now, let's tie this all together. The third thing that we worked on had to do with the finish. And this is a simple concept. And that is that when you finish your swing, let me go ahead and hit one here. All right, get my good hip rotation. Here we go. Ooh, that max vert. I love this max vert. All right, when I finish, knees touch. A lot of golfers, this was the particular situation with Claire, when they would finish, because their stance was so wide, their weight is on their back foot and they're not getting through the golf ball. So more club head speed is always attainable no matter what age, what flexibility, where we're at. Claire, she might be just like you. Narrow the stance, flare the toes. Get some hip turn so you get some length to your swing. And third and finally, make sure you get your knees touching. Those little tips right there helped Claire. My guess is they might help you as well.